I'm Amy, sex educator, sex and relationship coach, and co-owner of PurePleasureShop.com.
And I'm April, sex toy maven, VP of Hot Octopus, and I've dedicated my life to the business of sex. We're two people with a passion for educating and inspiring shame-free conversations about sex and relationships. Welcome to the Shameless Sex Revolution.
Want to learn more? Go to shamelesssex.com, and for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code SHAMELESSSEX at PurePleasureShop.com.
You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to the Shameless Sex Podcast. So this episode, we recorded in person.
In LA.
Yes, in LA with two wonderful humans. There were dogs, there were cats, they were running around the place. That's not what this episode is about, though. It is about the porn industry.
Underwear, panties.
Crusty, delicious, lovely smelling, succulent underwear.
And shoes.
And dildos.
And items.
And sometimes a vial of some fluids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stay tuned because this one's good.
This one's fabulous. And it's a woman-owned, women-operated company featuring other lovely porn star or performers who actually, not all vulva owners too. There's actually a penis-owning individual. They're selling his undies too on this fansutopia.com website. And so we interview the creator, owner, entrepreneur, badass woman, Natasha Root, who created fansutopia.com, as well as Kenna James, who's a beautiful, lovely, fun, because we got to hang out with her in person, so she's really fun, porn performer. And we learned all about this whole world.
I love meeting porn stars and learning more about how they got into the world of displaying their amazing skills on
athletes.
They're athletes. They are professionals. They are fun to talk to. And
actually, one of the quotes I wrote from this episode for our Instagram person to post was her saying, "This is not an easy job. I once had to do anal in a office chair for 15 minutes when she was the one, I think, like using her hands on the armchair, the sides with like the pump. She was pumping basically. And she was the one doing the work. Like someone, like he's sitting. So there was a penis owning person sitting, and she was pumping and doing this whole thing. And she's like, I know that maybe, I don't know, maybe y'all think it's glamorous. Maybe y'all think it's dirty, whatever y'all think about it. But they're athletes and they're fucking amazing. So, and also Natasha Root, who created this website, she's creating this other outlet for people to be able to have this extra engagement with the people that they are huge fans of. And the performers get to make more money, and hey, they deserve it because they're badass. So it's a fun one. And oh, by the way, there will be clips. I don't think we have a full video for this one, but if you go to our Instagram, which is
at Shameless Sex Podcast,
and if you go to our TikTok, it is
at Shameless Sex,
then you will see some actual clips of us interviewing them for this episode. Okay, so are you ready for a sex question?
I am, and I have not read this, so give it away now.
Give it
away now.
Oh, by the way, can we do an announcement? Let's do like our first announcement.
Okay, first announcement. So it's 2022, and in July, I will turn 40, and Amy, she provided me as a birthday present early tickets to see one of my favorite bands and one of my favorite lead singers.
And crushes of her all-time life.
Of my life since I was 7 years old, actually probably 6. Anthony Kiedis, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We're going to see them in San Jose, July 29th.
I want the pit. We're going to be in the pit.
Amy's like, where do you want to sit? I was like, we got to go to the pit. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, I don't give a fuck. We're getting to the front. So if anyone out there, and if Anthony Kiedis is listening, I love you. You're a
friend of Anthony Kiedis.
You're an artist that has shaped my life, and I adore you Or if you know, the
We
Red Hot
need
Chili Peppers,
backstage passes,
We want
basically.
those
We need to go back
backstage.
there. We need to hang out with you. And she's not a roadie or a groupie. She's just going to maybe like
I'm a supporter of the fine arts.
for decades. And
Forever.
so if anyone has any hookups, and if you don't, then guess what? We're going to start putting videos on TikTok so that
And if
it's
you give
gonna
us
come
a hookup to getting us where we want to go, which is backstage after we rock out to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, we will definitely provide you a lot of sex toys and lube.
Oh yeah, lots of sex toys.
So just hit us up, and you can email us info@shamelesssex or contact@shamelesssex, or
and
email
don't
me
bullshit
directly.
us and be like, I know Anthony Kiddis. I'm like, you don't.
And if
fucking know
Anthony's
Anthony.
listening, email me at april@shamelesssex.com, or you can call me. I'll give you my phone number. That's all.
I don't know how he's going to get it, but maybe go through me first. So, yes, that this is a true thing though. And also our next step is for our TikTok, because April actually knows like pretty much every word from what albums do you know?
Blood, Sugar, Sex,
Yeah.
Magic is one of my favorite albums.
Yes.
And
like every single fucking word is kind of creepy.
it is a little strange.
But it's awesome.
And it's also, I pride myself
Yes.
on how much of a fan I am, and a fan for the creation and the
Oh yeah, you know the art. You're like he wrote these later. I remember you say. I've heard this many
we
times.
listened to on the way down to LA on the way to record this episode, and with Layla Martin, that episode, we listened to their new album, and we
Yeah.
were both like, the same song came on because I searched it in Spotify, and
like
then
repeat.
and I'm like, the same song's on, but I just love it every
Yeah.
time more and more.
But then when you play the songs and you knew all the lyrics, you were like dancing in my car. It's like if you see someone just in like, 2022 Honda Accord hybrid dancing all over the fucking place, it's April to Red Hot Chili Peppers. So go to our TikTok so you
Fist
can
pumping.
see that, because we will actually create some videos, and now we have to do that sooner than later.
Okay, let's do a sex question.
All
A
right.
nice shout out, Amy. I
This is
like
a long one, so I'm probably going to fuck it up, but it's about herpes. So one shout out I wanted to give is that we're writing a book, and we can't tell you what it's all about, but we do have a portion in the book that will talk about STIs, STDs. It probably will not be out until 2023. We can't give you a lot of details. And so when I thought of this question, I thought about what we've been writing in this book. So for the listener, also buy our book next year. But also, here's some answers. Okay, so here's the question. I met a girl I like who has genital herpes. My questions are, number one, they say you can only get genital herpes oral. Actually, okay, let me rephrase this. He said it was HSV1, so it was what's generally oral herpes, but now it's on the genitals through a mucous membrane. So is the head of the penis the only mucous membrane? Question mark. Number two, when I have sex, usually vaginal lubrication gets all over me when having vigorous sex, not just on the condom. Should sex with an HSV positive person seek to avoid this? Number three, it seems that HSV can spread through an open wound. Should a nick from shaving my balls be enough of a concern to avoid sex until it's healed? Number four, how seriously should viral shedding be taken? All the websites say that shedding happens at least once a month, regardless of outbreaks or symptoms. And I'm already at the last part. Like, what websites say that?
Right.
There's a lot. Okay, so should we go in order of operations?
Let's break it down.
Okay.
Let's break it down for sure.
Okay, so number one, you can only get it through a mucous membrane. So is the head of the penis the only mucous membrane? No.
It's skin to skin contact.
And the whole genital region is a mucous membrane.
Right. So no matter what, this is why condoms as a safe sex practice cannot guarantee you cannot guarantee to be safe from herpes, especially genital herpes, the transmission through using a condom, because it's skin to skin contact. And genital herpes, sometimes they can be on the anus, they can be on the perineum, they can be any soft, warm areas
Anywhere
of the body.
in the genitals, basically.
Yes.
And genitals go from like a clitoris to the head of the cock to your asshole, basically. And even the crack above, like people can get it on these places that are not usually like moist and lubricated.
They're warm areas.
But as someone who's had oral herpes before, also known as oral cold sores, they used to be on my lip and then they grew on my chin. It's a dry space. They just found their way to a new place. So yeah, it's definitely not just the head have the penis. Okay, so number 2, when I have sex, usually vaginal lubrication gets all over me with vigorous sex, not just on the condom. Should sex with a person with herpes, should I seek to avoid this?
Well,
It's kind of the same answer.
so here's something that is tricky with herpes, because when a person that is the person that has the HSV 1 or 2, when they're having an outbreak or a little pre to their outbreak, there is a sensation that can happen, tingling, and they may or may not be aware of that. If you're a person that has had the virus for many years, you may be attuned with that and know when it's coming, and you can take your antiviral medication.
Which is why I think it's almost better to have sex with people who have said, I've had herpes for 10 years versus someone who's like, oh, it's been 6 months, because they have more knowledge of, and I'm not shaming anyone that's new to the herpes game, but like the more knowledge you have about it and the experience, the better you are at knowing your body and those tingling sensations.
And there's people that have herpes for 20 years and they know exactly when it's coming, and they've had partners for 15 years or multiple partners for many of those years.
And never gave it to them.
And the partner never tests positive for having herpes.
Yeah.
So this is why it's not a mysterious virus. It is harder to track if you're not aware of the symptoms of having an outbreak. It is easy to pass on if you are experiencing symptoms of an outbreak. So that's why it's important to reiterate the fact that with experience and time, knowing when the outbreak's coming, just like when you have any oral symptoms of having the HSV outbreak, you know when it's coming and you're like, whoa, I can't kiss or share or do anything.
Making out, something.
Right.
For me, it feels like a little swollen, tingly. There's something going on.
Almost like a vibration under the skin.
Exactly. And I'm like, time to take those little magical blue pills that I have. And that's the other thing. Like the management is actually not that hard once you get it down. But initially, people are like, death sentence. And we talk about all this in
and
our
remember
book.
that no matter what, when you are sexually active, if you're fluid bonded with someone or even skin to skin bonded, even if you're not having penetrative sex of some sort with them, you have a risk of receiving any sort of STI transfer. There is a risk there.
Nothing's 100%.
Nothing is 100% except for listening to this podcast. We're not transmitting anything to you through the airwaves.
Yeah. And so what I would say for your partner would be more so, instead of like, oh, you have herpes, we can't have sex. If you choose that, that's fine. But more so like, hey, what's your management skills? What does it feel like when you're getting an outbreak? Do you have a prescription when you're getting an outbreak? Do you change your diet to a high lysine diet? Go Google that, because I won't go too deep into that into this podcast. But there's so many ways to manage it. It's not like a death sentence in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so next one. The whole part of an open wound. That one's interesting to me. Just because someone has an open wound, you can get herpes through it. So, okay, one thing I can say about that is someone who has oral cold sores. If I cut my lip, sometimes it does aggravate the virus and I'm more likely to get it now because I have an open wound. Does that make me more likely to give it to someone because I have an open wound? Like, it's not like a blood on blood thing. It's like a viral, skin on skin thing. So I really don't think that that's necessarily the thing to worry about. I think it's more like, okay, if I have an open wound now, yes, things can get into that open wound. So you're more susceptible. And if your partner who has herpes has an open wound on their genitals or lips, wherever they have the virus, they might be more likely to get an outbreak because now it's just been exposed and that's into the ethers, into the world. But I don't think that just because someone has an open wound doesn't mean they're going to give you herpes if they have herpes.
I think this is almost a question that I related to when blood, or it's another form of fluid in the system. And if that's transferred, of course, you're going to be susceptible to infections or viruses or anything. So I would say if anyone has an open wound, I would probably, if you're worried about transmission of anything, infections, viruses, whether they have HSV or not, I would probably let the wound heal, let the body do its job, and be safe. Right. And a nick from shaving your balls or your bits will heal faster than a deep wound.
Okay, and also if your herpes is on the head of your cock, but you nick your balls, that's probably probably not where the herpes are going to come out of your balls. You
Also,
know?
a lot of times with penises, they don't show signs of herpes as often as folks with vulvas and vaginas. That you can actually see it a lot more.
and
frequently.
just because you have it in your body, right? So like I have it on my lips and my chin doesn't mean that when you have sex with my pussy that you're going to get it from having that kind of sex. Just like, so if you had it on the head of your cock doesn't mean that just because you nicked your balls, you're going to give to someone. So there's no correlation in those pieces.
Absolutely not.
All right. So the last one, I think we kind of already answered the viral shedding piece. Like, yes, take it into consideration. And also like, how much do you care about this person? How much do you want to really be on this whole like monitoring and not being able to let go and release and relax? If you're not really that into the relationship, then maybe you want to be a little more careful. But and the whole the once a month thing, what the fuck is that shit?
I have never heard of that.
No.
And I would actually believe, and I will ask my doctor the next time I have a session to inquire about this. I've never heard of that.
No.
I used to hear about it being transferred with towels and all of these things. And there's a lot of information out there that can be defunct.
Okay. So someone who's had oral cold sore since I was 18, I'm 37. I do not get any form of outbreak once a month, nor do I shed once a month, because plenty of people would have gotten it from me and I've not given it to one person.
You and I
know
share, during COVID we didn't, and now we share water, or we share different things where chapstick.
You've
sometimes
never got oral cold
I
sores
have
from me,
not.
never.
So
and all the scissor sessions that we've done, I've never got your genital herpes.
no, and I think that
I'm just kidding. We've never done
that. That is not.
I just wanted to throw you for a loop.
You always do. Okay, so
Let's go into the bio.
that all being said, let's move on to a bio. All right. Natasha Root is a Los Angeles native, former model and fashion executive turned entrepreneur. At 34 years old, with nearly 2 decades of work experience in the fashion and entertainment industries, she's created her own company called Fans Utopia. Natasha's unique business model has been featured in many media outlets, including Goop, as well as well-known fashion blogs. To learn more, visit fansutopia.com. That's FANSUTOPIA.com. And Kenna James is an award-winning adult star and model, as well as the 2016 Penthouse Magazine Pet of the Year. You can purchase items from her most famous scenes and live streams at fansutopia.com. And to see all of Kenna's work, visit kennasjoint.com. That's KENNASJOINT.com.
Well, hello, everyone. Oh, wait, that's the wrong start. And I'm still going to go with it. Hey, everyone, it's interview time. And we are on a roll for in-person interviews right now. They might not be back-to-back, actually, because I do not know the release date of this one. But I love to paint the context. First of all, we have 4 beautiful women sitting on a bed. We are somewhere in Los Angeles Hills. Oh, I can see some really nice mountains.
Los Angeles
Hills. Oh, there's a pool out there. My dog is currently eating a bully stick that's also known as a bull penis. He's chewing the shit out of it. There are 2 cats under the bed. April's dog is here too. And we are here with the wonderful humans. Well, they're from separate places, but they work together. We have Natasha Root, the owner of Fans Utopia. And we have Kenna James, who is, let me just actually take this opportunity. What title do you prefer to take on? Because sometimes I'm like, do I say porn star or performer? Or like, what is your preferred label?
I like them all, from porn star to adult actress to mattress actress to whatever. The girl
actress.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, hey. People are like, all right, so I'm going to now really tune into this episode.
And I also want to paint one last picture, because
yes, please.
you, and I'm speaking to Natasha, just moved into this new beautiful home, and there's a guy that was cocking, which meaning the thing that you squirt into the bathtub where you fill the tile hole lines in, and he was like doing a double take because we're sitting on the bed, because the sound in the bedroom is actually
better
preferred.
than the living
and
room.
y'all out there in non-recording land don't know that, but Amy, who is a recording guru because she's done it for so long, and she's like, this room is not working for me. Okay, so we went into the bedroom and we're sitting on the bed, and the cocker guy was in. And, and he did a double take, and I was like, dude, we got a cocker in here.
We have 4 women, a cocker, 2 small dogs, and 2 cats under the bed.
I'm waiting for the joke, the punchline of the joke.
Is
Someone should send us that punchline.
Yeah. All right. So if you have the punchline, please email us or just go to fansutopia.com and go buy some good shit.
Yes.
Yes. How about
Yes.
that? So, and you'll find out what we're talking about, although we actually we told you in the intro what that is, but we will dive deeper into that. The other thing that April and I wanted to share was yesterday we were recording also at Layla Martin's house because we did these 2 back-to-back recordings, and just the fact that as we were driving in to go to the property there, and they were like, hey, so yeah, we're rolling in to go to...
there's a gatekeeper.
A gatekeeper.
So when they were trying to open the gate for us, we're like, we're going to Layla Martin's house. And
They're like,
and 2 times
two
though, 'cause
different
we
dudes.
exit,
They're
they're like,
two-
yeah. And they were like, what's up? Yeah. And we're like, whoa, what
and
does
then
that mean?
one
We're
of them was
like,
at like maybe 2 p.m. and then the other one was about 10 p.m. and just 2 different guys, and each time they had this smirk and this smile on their face, like cracking up, and we're like, what the fuck always
we know
happens
that
at
there's good
Layla
things
Martin's
that
house?
happen.
Yeah.
It was the gate code. It was
Sex
the
educators
secret.
be having lots
Yes.
of fun. So anyways, so this episode is all about everything from porn, being the porn industry, women-owned and badass operated businesses that are promoting other women, Fans Utopia, and what is it like to sell everything from panties to shoes. By the way, used panties to used shoes to used sex toys.
Used, but like in the juiciest,
Yeah, but covered in the
way.
I saw some of the photos. They got some little like crustaceans.
Yes,
on
it's
them.
not like they're used for like years. You use them in yes. And
Oh my
then
god, I love
get
Kenna's
the
snort,
smells.
by the way. It's like the best thing ever. It makes you even more human. Okay, so let's start with what we always begin with is the prompt, even though people kind of heard a little about your bios before this because we did the intro before this, but you don't know that, but we did. And
So, Natasha, do you smell your own panties?
yes,
Just kidding.
That's it. No. Well, you can ask
Every
that.
woman smells themselves.
do.
Yes,
You have
I
to.
do.
And then when you do, you're proud of yourself. 'Cause
Yeah.
You're like, God, all right, it's clear for the week.
I gotta
Like,
check
or
out-
maybe
check
you
out.
need to
Yes,
do
yes.
a
You
little
got it.
cleanse with the apple cider vinegar because it's not smelling nice.
Do you
as
all
much as I
remember the
want.
first time you smelled your own pussy?
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you think? Were you like, ooh, that's nice?
I feel like it was like when I was very young, when you first get the discharge on your panties and you're freaking out and you're like, oh shit, is this like the period or what is this? And then,
So you were
that-
older, like teenage years then, probably then.
Yeah.
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 So I was like, I'm pretty sure I was like 6 or 7 or 8. And I was not a masturbator because you were a baiter. I'm putting April loved it. She was all baiting up a storm.
Was also a baiter.
Yeah, baiting up a storm.
Rock out to the baiter.
Yeah. And
We're
I
fist
didn't have
pumping.
shame about it. I just like didn't figure it out. But I was more like, oh, this thing's so interesting. Oh, it smells like this kind of sweet. And so I went up to my mom one day, just put my fingers in her face.
Did she know that you had just touched your little bit?
So, and by the way, hi Janice, you're listening. We can talk about this later. I don't know if we talked about it since then. I think her reaction, I think she's our number 1 fan. I think her reaction was a little bit like, oh, we don't do that or something like that. And I remember being like, oh, I guess you're not supposed to touch that and put that on people's faces, which kind of makes sense. Like you're probably not supposed to just put your fingers in people's faces without consent that are all over your bits. But I remember being like, that's bad. Oopsies.
So I think that if you're vulva owners or if there's ejaculating penis owners out there that have smelled their own ejaculate, it is an interesting thing to take in, your scent. And you were saying, Kenna, as well, that you were an early masturbator.
Oh, yeah.
Were you discharging and sniffing and putting in your mom's face as well or no?
Not necessarily putting in mom's face so much, but definitely a sniffer. I was just like, oh, what's this? And, oh, that's interesting. That's different. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? The
You know what?
discharge, though, you could. There's people that can
I feel
predict
like we
what
need
kind
a
of
better word for discharge.
discharge, meaning the
Extra
creamy
fluid?
bits
Yes,
in the
yeah,
things that
creamy-
sometimes
the
come out.
creamy-
Discharge means like
Yes.
you've been expelled from the fucking armory, armory, army, not army,
My
military.
vagina honorably discharges, okay? Honorably.
Oh my God.
I had to take a minute for that to settle in.
I know, everyone's like, wait,
Holy
whoa.
shit. Oh, and
I'm not dishonorably discharging anything anytime soon in this
Okay,
vagina.
so let's talk about let's call it just the beautiful fluids that come out of the pussy naturally, of all age, shapes, and forms. Which still doesn't bring us to our key point of how the fuck did you guys get in the human sexuality field?
That's where it starts, though. You got to start within yourself
Yeah.
to know what's going on, and then you go from there.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you can't just walk up to someone and be like, I'm going to smell your pussy. Or go up to
I
your
learned.
mom.
Though-
And be like,
Though
in
I
the
have
shower.
done that. I've literally walked up with pussy smell on my hands or on my breath, and it's just like, hey, nice to meet you.
And so how'd that go?
Oh no, that's just my day to day at work. I mean,
That's good. Oh my God. That's a fun job.
Wait, okay, so let's give context to the listeners in case.
Let's get serious.
Well, sometimes I can get serious. So Natasha Root, who is here with us, and the beautiful Kenna James, as Amy announced, has this incredible business, and I love what you're doing. So can you just tell folks a little bit about what your offerings
Kenna's
are?
going first.
Kenna's.
They decide Kenna's sharing
Shit, no, I'm
herself.
sorry, I'm not even.
Kenna James.
Yes, please.
Who the fuck is Kenna James?
All right, so Kenna James has been doing porn for the last going on 8 years. Before that, I did webcamming, and before that, the very beginning, I was a stripper in
God
the
bless the
Midwest.
strippers, man. Thank you. God is blessed.
Oh yeah, stripper life was great. I was in Indiana in Evansville, Indiana, at the Pony.
What was one of your favorite songs to dance to? One of your favorite go-to songs that empowered you and made you feel like the hottest Kenna James ever?
So this is not that song, but there is one song that I have forever go back to my stripper days. It is My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark by Fall Out Boy. Because
Oh my God, maybe I could like insert it in here, but I don't know if I'm. Oh, Dale, can you insert it? Okay, thanks. If Dale doesn't edit this out, that'd be really, really good. Well, whatever, but you know what I mean.
How does it? Wait, I want to know how it goes now.
I met the DJ, really awesome guy. His name was Nick. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
And he goes, "What do you like?" And when people ask you that question, you immediately forget all music that you like. And so I was like, I don't know, Fall Out Boy. So my very first song of every single night started out with My Song Know What You Did in the Dark by Fall Out Boy. And so it just became a warm up. I mean, there's been a few different songs. Anything by In This Moment, I absolutely love, like Whore or Barbie or, whatever.
Yeah.
That's good. Someone told me I look like the lead singer from Fall Out Boy once. I took it as a compliment. I'm not kidding. I remember that now. And I was
We need our like.
I need to look this up and see what.
He wears like the penny boy hat. I think it's called like the paper boy hat.
Once or something? No.
I don't know his name. It doesn't. It's not relevant right now to the conversation. I was just thinking about that. The only Fall Out Boy context I know is that. But I Know What You Did in the Dark is a good one.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And that was like 2013. I was also a senior in high school.
Wow.
At the same time.
So, wow. Wait, so you were 18?
I was 18.
Okay, got it.
I was 18 before I graduated, a couple months, maybe like 4 months before I graduated. I lived on my own and needed a way to pay bills. So
It's a fucking great way to pay
Stripper.
bills. Absolutely.
And I still graduated high school. I had a 3.8 GPA, did my thing.
Yeah.
So.
And a lot of the strippers I know, they're like, well, a couple things. Made some fucking great money. Let's talk about that. I made my own hours. And this isn't every single person I've talked to, but and I actually have some stripper friends that are like, it felt so fucking good to own those men when I was on stage.
Oh, yeah. The power you feel when you're up there. Because I'm always really nervous, especially because now I only do feature shows. I don't work as a house girl anymore. So now it's a big deal. They pay me to come in and they're hyping you up. They're reading all your credentials and you're sitting backstage. And now it's just like, oh man, now I'm nervous.
Now you're like smooth sailing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Now you just like walk out and then all of a sudden you hear the music, you see the people, and it's just like, there it is.
Well,
And you fall right into that groove.
I have so much respect for all the performers and the people that are in, and I'm not talking about the entertainment industry, meaning movies that we see from Paramount. I'm talking about the people that are in the entertainment industry that are doing beautifully skilled things that entertain us, that includes porn, includes dancing in clubs and all of the other things. So thank you to all of the folks out there that are providing when it's consensual and you want to choose that, right?
Absolutely.
So that's amazing.
And I'll let you go.
And Natasha is supporting a lot of these folks that are fucking hustling and performing and doing the amazing work of being in the porn industry, which I love porn. I don't use it for education. It's for entertainment. And I also love the fact that what you're doing, I think you're raising the bar and giving folks more access to these performers. Can you please talk about Fans Utopia and what this is, and also a little bit about how you got here.
And badass woman-owned, operated, supporting other women. Because I don't think there's any penis. We're not selling like penis on like some dudes underwear. Oh, you are now.
Not yet.
No, I want to be open to everything.
All
But
right,
how
bring
this
on the
all
dicks.
started was I was in the fashion industry. So I used to be on video and print for how to repair your designer bags and shoes. And from after that, I had a dream. And my friend's an ex-porn star, Morgan Lane, and she was in my dream telling me to put her implants on my website. And I was like, what are you talking about? And so when I woke up the next day, I started researching and I go, God, these websites that people sell their used stuff, they look old. They look like ancient websites. Nothing seems exciting to people. And I said, okay, let me take something that's out there and make it better. So within days, I set it up to be a legit company and I started reaching out to everyone on my own. I kind of grew up somewhat in the porn industry because living in the Valley, your parents, your friends' parents either own a distribution company, someone does
Sell
porn.
DVDs out of their trunk.
Their house is used for porn, something. So I always had friends that were in the porn industry. Even when I was in high school and all my friends were older than me. So when this happened, I just rolled with it and I didn't know how to contact these people. Of course, I knew of some names already like Kenna and others like Natasha Root and stuff because they've just been around for a long time. And so I went from there and just, it was weird because I didn't have a full plan. You know what I mean? I was like, this is what I want to do. I want the items to be used. I want them to be from scenes. And I want the people that have these fetishes to feel like they have a safe place to connect to these stars because it's not easy to connect to these stars at all. And I still have that
And it's a
problem every day.
normalized thing. Japan's been selling
Correct.
used panties
Yeah.
in vending machines for years. We've talked about
years.
shippings and
Yeah.
things.
So
we're like
or at
behind
least
the
I
times.
have. I was like, how much can I get for my used panties?
Really? Vending machines? I didn't know
Oh,
that.
vending
Yeah.
How
machines.
much you get if there's like a
Absolutely.
streak of little, like a streaker?
But Japan's very different with sex, though. They have different magazines that the naked girls are actually blurred out, and their sex club and
It's like
everything's very
reverse.
different. Yeah,
Yeah,
but the
it's-
guys are getting off to the blurred photos, which I don't understand.
But they want to. But
weird.
they can get your panties from the vending machine and sniff your pussy
yes,
juice.
exactly.
Wow.
exactly.
That's a strange thing.
It's different
Sniff and go.
everywhere. Yeah.
You have to seal it. I'm sure you have to seal it though, right? To seal in.
Correct.
Do
Correct.
airtight seal it.
So,
like
okay,
if I'm
wait,
buying
wait.
some weed.
Wait,
Oh,
so
sorry,
wait,
I'm
wait.
getting logistical.
actually-
But when we
Yes.
walked into the house, we went
Yes.
through the garage, and the
the scene.
first thing we saw was there's a Nash Tesla, but also to the right was all of the ladies' names, and then these little compartments of all like their sealed things.
Correct.
It's very organized, and I
Yeah.
will
Very.
say
I'll show you the process
Yes.
of how that is done. For instance, I always meet Kenna, which I have the pleasure of doing that, meeting her in person and getting the stuff and spending time with her. But a lot of people that are not in the area, because I have people as far as London,
Oh,
Dubai.
wow.
So I pay for their shipping. They bring it to me, and then sometimes they'll put it in Ziploc bags. And from there, I take photos of it, and then I do it just like the weed baggies, and I go and zip them up and airtight them, and then write all the info. And the best part is I put these stickers that they put for food that say sealed for freshness or something. So the guys open it, they're just like, yeah. And so I do it with like Kenna's dildos. I do it with the shoes because the guys, they like knowing that from the second it's off their body and they have that, I go and see as soon as I
Nothing's
take the photos
missing.
of it. Yeah.
So that's the process. So you, Kenna, will wear something and then take it off immediately after. Is it after a session? Is it after a couple of days? Like, what is the process for what folks are getting with these products?
It depends. I try to usually stay in it for like a few days, or if I sleep in them overnight, or whatever. Or if it's a dildo, I use it for a video or a custom or something, and then I just drop into a bag and
Send it on
down the road.
This podcast is free to you because of our fabulous sponsors, such as Dipsy. If you're like me, you like to keep things new and spicy in the bedroom. There are so many ways to tap into your arousal, and one of our faves is Dipsy. Dipsy is an app full of hundreds of short, sexy audio stories designed by women for women, but honestly, almost everyone could get their arousal on to their ear candy. They bring scenarios to life with immersive soundscapes and characters. So no matter who you're into or what turns you on, you can find something new to explore.
I recently listened to On the Countertop, featuring a hush-hush love affair full of hot orgasms during a shower scene. Hello, man with sexy British accent. The next thing I knew, I was in my ultimate turn-on. And guess what? New content is released every week. Dipsy also offers sleep stories, wellness sessions, and they even have written stories too. For listeners of our show, Dipsy is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/shameless. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/shameless. dipsystories.com/shameless. Go get turned on right now. You deserve it.
This podcast is also free to you because of our incredible sponsors like Helix Sleep. Did you know you will spend around 1/3 of your life sleeping? And this doesn't include all the sexy time you're having in the bedroom. So why not have a mattress that's made to give you the best of both worlds? Helix knows that everybody is unique, so they have lots of mattress models to choose from. Whether you're a hot sleeper, need spinal alignment to prevent aches and pains, even a Helix Plus mattress for plus-size sleepers. They also have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try the mattress for 100 nights risk-free.
Go to helixsleep.com/shameless, take their simple 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a customized mattress just right for you. I was matched to the Midnight mattress, and even though I'm a sensitive sleeper who changes positions throughout the night, it checks all my sleep boxes. And guess what? Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/shameless. Time to get the sleep you deserve. All right, back to the show. How much contact have you all had with the people that are purchasing these wonderful items? Like, what? All right, look at these smiles. Okay, so, like, what are they doing with them?
I would say I'm the gatekeeper for all these women and men because the guys take it like I'm their friend when they message me. So they love to tell me the play-by-play of what they're going to do with the items, what they want with the items.
I bet you get all
And with Kenna, I had something as simple as the guy just being like, and I always like when I message her, I'm like, all right, here we go. Like just waiting to see what she's going to say. But the most innocent thing was a guy one day where he lives somewhere in the Midwest was really cold. And he told me he wanted a sweater for Kenna to wear. So when he was freezing, he could feel like Kenna was there holding him.
I love that.
And so that was like the most innocent of
I
it.
love that.
And so I was like, wow, that's very sweet. But then, of course, there's the ones that are like, I want Kenna to just rail herself with a dildo. And then I want her to autograph. And then I want photos of it. They just want I had a guy, we had the ones your hair ties. And I was like, dude, what do you do with the hair ties?
So if you ejaculate on something and so that probably, because there's prices and most things are they're reasonable.
That's the goal. I want everything to be affordable. Okay. And so when the girls want to do more, sometimes I'm like, let's make it so everyone can feel like they have a piece of you, because that also helps grow the Stars fan base, is being able to afford those items too. If you make it out of reach, it makes it hard for the average person to be able to get that.
There's
and
also the tank top. I saw the Wonder Woman tank top. I love that.
Yeah.
It's like, and I thought you were so adorable in it. And I mean, hot, but I just use adorable for people I think are hot. And that I thought was really cool because it's also, I feel like that's an empowerment piece to wear. Superhuman, superwoman, Kenna.
So I have a question.
Ooh.
So what's the craziest request that you've had from someone who wanted an item?
You never ask these kinds of questions, P.S.
I want to know the most wild thing that you've ever had someone say, like, can I get this used item of...
Some of them have definitely asked for vials of Kenna's cum or pee, and I don't even bother to ask her with that because it's just, the men don't understand with women, first off, that our bodies are not we don't just always, we can't just come like a dick and just go all over. And so they think that we can just fill it up like soft serve up in the vials. And I'm just like, no. So I also have to educate them about the women's body most of the time. Of course. Because they don't get it.
Does anyone want period blood? Because that would be great.
Oh, yes. No, I had a guy. So my craziest, he was on my OnlyFans and he goes, so I want you to just shit in a container, in just a Tupperware container and mail it to me.
Okay.
And I was like, okay.
Did you do it?
No.
Oh, damn.
No.
You're like, I don't
past boundaries.
Yeah. But
Boundaries.
Boundaries.
If Kenna was down, I'm not going to lie. I'll sell dirty tampons with blood on them. Okay. If we can get it in the mail, I want to make the fans happy. I don't know about the shit because I got to take a photo of that or put it on the website.
Well, you need to just make it clinical too because of the whole thing. There's some things around the excrements that can be hard, but I get that.
Yeah. I mean, period blood, but I had one guy come to a club one day and he goes, are you by chance on your period? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. And he goes, well, if you start tomorrow, he goes, I'll be back and I want to buy them. He goes, I'll spend $300 right now.
On the tampons.
On the just
on the
just bleed on the underwear.
I think we need to get
just
Kenna's
free bleeding
tampons on the website.
And then
oh my God, there's such a thing.
Yeah,
for that,
put some
though.
tampons.
I think we should for sure.
But okay,
I'm gonna convince.
So let's talk about the pheromones though, because so we're none of us are. Well, maybe you guys are scientists here, but I'm pretty sure pheromones are a real
I have
thing.
a bachelor's of science.
Oh, sorry. So April's a bachelor.
I'm not
of
a
science.
scientist, but I do have a bachelor's of science.
So I have she's got a BS. It also is a bachelor's of science.
Not bullshit.
And I have a BD, also a bachelor's of dildos. So like the whole
You have a BA though. She does for real.
anal. Okay, so but let's talk about the pheromone piece here, right? So like because we're talking about there's different like we have fetishes, obviously. So let's okay. Let me break it down. The shoes, more fetishes.
Shows.
Yes. Fetish is like these are foot fetish people
100%.
generally.
And men are
yeah.
very smart. We'll say women too, because I have noticed when we start buying stuff, they can tell when somebody wears the item, and if they rebuy it again, they'll remember her scent. So everything I always check is to make sure the stars always wear their stuff, because I've heard stories from when they did this on their own selling stuff, the mistakes they would make, and men can recognize the pussy smell, and they will know.
Wait.
Wait.
I mean,
they can recognize your unique pussy smell,
Correct.
that
Yeah,
it's not yours.
they can recognize the smell of it to know, for instance,
It's
because
real
there-
pussy.
If it's
because
different than
there's
the first-
correct because there's people out there, not on my website, but there's people who have tried that I've heard from men too, and other people that aren't on my website, but they will say they try to fake the pussy
Oh, they
smell
do the
in there.
tuna paste.
Yeah.
Oh my God, wait, okay,
And
right,
different
okay.
So, but you're
Coming back to-
authenticating this because the stars. You have a relationship
so
with the
I would
stars.
say that with how much pussy and lingerie that I see, I could definitely be a gynecologist. I mean, it is why. I mean, I know every one of my girl's pussy at this point, like, and her boobs. I
Like,
mean, and it's
do your labia hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tell them? Do you sing that song when you look? I'm just kidding.
She's just gonna call me one day. She
yeah.
go, girl, hey, you got something going on.
But you got to check. For me, everything that I sell, it's so important for me for it to be authentic, you know? So I do every single item that comes in, I do have to check that there is a scent, that there is stuff on the panties, that it's real stuff on it, that even the lingerie, the bra, everything has to smell, because men, the first thing they do when they open that package is they smell that shit. And they will tell you if there is detergent on there or sweat, pussy juice. And so you have to be on your game with that.
So also, there's a huge room and barrier to, you have to trust who you're buying the products from, and you
Correct.
have the relationships with the performers, that's the authentication process too,
Correct.
where Kenna's like, yes, she's legit. I'm here right now. I'm giving her my underwear that I recorded on Shameless Sex with. If you're wearing them, or those beautiful cutoffs, she's like, damn, I didn't wear.
Are
underwear.
you going to
really
sell those cutoffs? Are we trying to sell
no.
them
Taking
now?
the clothes off Kenna. She's
These are
going to
my
leave in a towel.
favorites.
How
Those
much-
are hot.
How much can we get for those right now if someone were to buy those?
It's literally like half hanging out here.
So like if we wanted to, if you were open to selling them, what were we talking right now?
for these,
These are special shorts.
these are like $500. I'm sorry. If
She
you
rode
want
all the way
them.
from Vegas in those
These-
too.
yeah, and she was
these are
wearing
in so
those,
many
grinding
scenes.
against
They
the
are my
seat driving.
favorite.
So probably we're talking like more like 500,000 then probably is what
We're like $500-$600
right.
if you want to buy these shorts, because I don't know if I can find another
You
one.
can't, and that's the thing. Some clothes just fit you well, and you feel good. And the cutoffs specifically, I'm wearing some too.
Well,
yeah, you
and
are.
they're the vintage ones, or whenever you break them in.
Yeah.
and maybe they're vintage to my body, circa 2 years ago, but I call them vintage. I'm like, these are good. They're worked in. So
Yeah,
if
like-
500 is the minimum you should get. For those.
Minimum,
Minimum.
She has a lot of great stuff on the website. Kenna always mixes it up with different things. And what's great about her clothes is that it's not just like regular sexy clothes, it's daytime sexy clothes. So there's different things that they get from her, not just from the scenes, but it's also her just being sexy walking around. I mean, Kenna has a
like
killer body.
Instagram picture stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
That's something I wear a lot of.
So
Exactly.
we're talking about the difference here then between, so there's like fetish, and but then there's also just like diehard fans who are like, I know you, and you're like,
I watch you.
and you're like, you're kind of like a part of my life.
Well, you know
Yeah.
how
You're
I
the
compare
middle
it to?
human.
Well, how I
Yeah.
compare it to is this: how kids and let's say adults, they obsess over Disney, right? They watch the movies, they obsess over Hello Kitty or whatever it is. The stars are exactly to them like a kid who's obsessed with Disney characters, because once they obsess over them, they want every single thing that person owns.
Yeah.
So Kenna is like a Disney princess, and they want all her stuff, and they feel that they can. I I think also too, besides it being a sexual thing, a lot of them just buy her clothes, and I feel that they really just want to be able to relate to her, to have that smell. A lot of them, a lot of people
They just
too
wanna feel
watch porn
close.
for different things, not just always sexual. It's to feel like that somebody's there with them. So I feel that kind of provides that
Well, it's
security.
giving-
to them.
actually,
definitely.
when you're on film, people can't touch you.
Right.
When you're camming, people can't have that access. It actualizes you're a real human. You're not
Exactly.
some digitized avatar that they were seeing and that they were obsessed with, or that you helped them come
It's
so many
almost more
times.
exciting.
It's more exciting. So you actually get the
Exactly.
essence of the performer.
You get
I
to
think
know
that's
During
really
the
Yeah.
scene, you can get her
Yeah.
lingerie that she cummed in and hooked up with a girl or a guy, and you can hold that as you're watching him. And that's what's so cool about Fans Utopia, is that you're also taking home a piece of that movie she did. So it's like watching your favorite thing, having that stuffed animal, and watching, whatever movie there
when
is.
I was married to an Israeli, and maybe I shouldn't say that specific thing about this, but I had a partner similar to that.
No,
human.
we were talking about it earlier. Well,
Yes.
we had a couple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why it's
it-
relevant.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, there was a time though
Talk about shopping.
where I loved when. When he would like grab my panties and smell them, he's like, "I just want your essence."
Oh,
and
I
that's
love
why.
that.
So yes, I don't want to be specific.
So okay, by the way, as you say this about your Israeli partner, my current partner to this day loves when I bleed, will take the blood from my body and put war paint under his eyes and be like, "Give it to me."
Which that makes me feel so hot.
I had an ex-partner who was right after my last 5.5 year relationship. There was a super kinky guy that you remember.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
He actually took a pair of my used panties from my house without telling me. Actually, I think he took a hairball from my garbage.
I thought you were going to say a
can.
sample of my hair while I was sleeping. I was like, that we might need to file
like
something.
a hairball from like, actually I have a lot of hair, right? And he sent a photo to me, and I'm sorry if I'm adding this about you, but we don't use names. And he sent a photo of my hairball. I was like, you took that from my garbage, and he would, I don't know what he was doing with it, but like I get it, because he took everything from like a 5 to a 10. But at any rate,
I'm not going to shame that, but was it consensual? Did you okay that hairball? Like,
it didn't cross.
stealing?
It didn't cross boundaries. No, you stole my hairball from the garbage. No, he could take my garbage if he wants. That's cool. Was I turned on by it? No.
No, but the underwear thing and the war
But
paint thing is hot.
Hot. That's fucking hot.
fucking
Exactly.
hot.
Yeah, that's
what
Hairball from the garbage.
And
Not-
and the hairball for some people could be, because for some people it'd be like, wow, you're that into me that you took my fucking hairball, and then you're like, I don't know, like whittling a little baby Amy out of it. I don't know.
Makes like a little
doll.
doll. Exactly what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Which is, but I just, so
Red
I say
flag.
this, I want to say this also with just appreciation for the diversity of humans. And we're not just talking about men, by the way. I mean, more so we are speaking probably because you're saying you might bring on some other penis
And you
owners
said
into
more
this realm.
vulva owners are buying things as well.
Yes, yes. That's what I wonder too. So they must also connect, because there was a woman, I think, in Brazil that ended up buying one of her bodysuits.
You're one of yours?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a lot of lady lovers. I was girl for only 2.5 years. So.
Oh, nice.
Love you even
Yeah.
more, Ken.
Love my ladies.
So it's a mix of men and women, because I also have Tomas Skoladick on our website, and he
Wait,
does.
sorry,
Thomas.
Skoladick?
Skoladick.
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but I always just see Dick out of his name, and he has a big
Hold on, would
dick.
you
So I
like
was
to
like,
see
all
his
right,
dick? Can you
Skoladick.
whip it out?
Last name Skoladick.
Whip it out, whip it out. I want to see Tomas.
He whips it out all the time on Twitter. So TOMASSKOLOUDIK. He used to be a former Giorgio Armani underwear model, and then he turned to starting to do porn, and so he does a lot of.
Oh my God, I totally fucked that guy.
Yeah, that's
Just kidding.
I did. I did.
Oh, that's right. You did. That's right.
I did.
I
Just
remember
like I
She
did.
believed me for 1 second.
That's
I
right.
thought Tim and his
fun.
girl.
Yeah, and his girl, True Kate.
Kate.
Yeah.
Oh, is that his girl?
Yeah.
No.
No. I have
Nope.
both of them on the website.
Hold on.
So we have.
I'll show you him, and then I'll show you True Kate.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone that's listening,
They're
that are
super hot,
The people
yeah.
that are super
So I
frustrated.
feel like he's so cute.
The people that are super frustrated right now, and they're like, I can't see what you're talking about. We will put links on here to somehow see what the fuck we're talking about. Because, yeah.
So people
or just
just-
talk about
this is True
Yeah.
Kate.
Well, but he's on your site.
Both
They
of
go
them are.
Okay, so just go to fansutopia.com.
Correct.
Then
Yeah, so you can get his cum-filled
And that's his girl.
boxers, sweaty
Oh,
gym
hot.
clothes.
Does he fuck mostly vulva owning humans
Yes.
or aliens? I'm just kidding. I like to throw that in there.
He might do the aliens. I'm not sure. I don't know his
I
stance
don't
on
know.
aliens.
He
but
always
just-
looks so jolly.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
looks
He's a
so-
very jolly
I mean, how
guy.
could you
And
not
you
be
had sex with
excited
him.
for
I did.
girls all day long?
Skull is also cheers in a lot of Nordic languages.
I thought
So
it was to
dick.
school a dick. I was going to school that.
I don't know if he's Nordic or not, but I like
I'm going
it.
to teach that dick some things.
Okay, time for a quick break. This podcast is free to you because of our amazing sponsors like Uberlube. Uberlube is a luxurious silicone lubricant that can enhance your sex and intimacy. Uberlube's unique formula is velvety, long-lasting, with no flavor or scent, and it feels absolutely incredible on the body. There are thousands of doctors recommending Uberlube to their patients because it's less likely to throw off your pH than most other lubes. So whether you want to make your hot sex even hotter, or you want to prevent dryness, take our advice and check out our favorite go-to, Uberlube.
Uberlube isn't just for sex. I use it for massage, to tame my frizzy hair, to prevent chafing, even for oral sex sessions. I love how it comes in a beautiful bottle with a pump top for easy access, appearing more like a cosmetic product so you can leave it on your nightstand shamelessly. Uberlube is without a doubt my favorite lube, and countless listeners agree, often stating, "We never knew lube could be this good." To learn why we think it's the best lube on the planet, check out uberlube.com and use code SHAMELESSSEX for 10% off and free shipping. Again, that's uberlube.com. Use code SHAMELESSSEX for 10% off and free shipping. This podcast was also made possible by OMGYes.com. OMGYes combines scientific research of real vulva owners so you can learn shame-free techniques on how to pleasure the pussy. OMGYes studied 20,000 plus people of all ages and turned the research into animated modules, short videos, and beautiful infographics that are tasteful and easy to understand. Whether you want to learn about external pleasure, internal stimulation, or techniques with toys, OMGYes can help you master vulva pleasure. Let me tell you, I've been recommending OMGYes to my clients for years, and it's been changing their lives because knowledge really can activate your pleasure power.
OMGYes is for anyone who cares about vulva pleasure and wants to take it to the next level. OMGYes can help you become a sexual strategist by equipping you with the tools you need to unlock your pleasure potential. Plus, your OMGYes purchase helps fund more pleasure research. OMG, that's great. Only pay once, and these techniques are yours forever. That's right, this is not a subscription service, and you don't need to download a thing. So go to omgs.com/shameless to get 10% off when you purchase any OMGYes season. Again, go to omgs.com/shameless to get 10% off right now. Time to pursue your pleasure. And now back to the show.
So this business, when we're talking about the delivery of these items to folks that are interested in having those, people could actually take this, though, if you're in partnership, and you could make it sexy too with your partner. Well,
of course.
Also, like, I have Kenna James underwear right now. Smell that bitch.
And then you could watch her.
I have a lot
Exactly.
of
Then
couples.
maybe she puts on the outfit.
Oh yeah. I have a lot of couples that watch my stuff, and they reach out and they're like, "We love to watch it together. We love to do all this. I've learned so much from your stuff," and that always makes me feel so great because that's what I'm really after.
That's awesome. And I actually never thought about taking it to that next level of bringing it to, because I was like the people who want to play with threesome-y or foursome or whatever group stuff, but they're like, I'm actually not as comfortable having sex in group environments. And so maybe, like you said, maybe you can wear this, or maybe we could just like sniff this and then watch this video.
This is the access. So I've been a fan of porn since I was young, and my mom didn't know I was watching it.
Same.
I found a VHS where it was Days of Our Lives recorded, and then I put in Days of Our Lives to find the proper point where I could over record it, that my mom wouldn't get really mad, that I could record whatever fucking Care Bears or some shit. And I was like, all of a sudden I was like looking, and all of a sudden the full blown porn came out. I was 6 years old. No one was home. I was like, what's going on? And it was this woman being eaten out by like 7 biker dudes on a thing. Consensually, she looked like she was
Wait, are they one after the other?
one after the other.
Okay, I was like, you can't get
and
7
she was
tongues.
eating,
Really
eating after, and I was like, what is this?
It
And
was a pussy eating gangbang?
Pussy eating gangbang on a pool table.
Or train.
And I don't know what you say to that one. And all I'm saying,
I'm
since
really not
then,
sure.
I fell in love with porn. I was like, I need more. But the internet didn't exist when I'm almost 40. And so I would find whatever I could accessibly, and I rewound that tape and almost burnt it out, where my mom was like, do you watch Days of Our Lives kind of thing? And I was like, no. And I was hoping that she would never know that there was porn on there and that I knew. So
Sorry, Mom.
And again, with education and porn, because we do like to reiterate this, and education is a different thing, right? Because sometimes you can't do, as a civilian human like myself, I watch these performers and I'm like, I can't fuck like that. My pussy pussy doesn't work like that, but I'm okay. I can still fuck, but I want folks to know sometimes you aren't going to be being able to replicate what you're seeing on film, which is why you bring it in with getting some of the juices and the loveliness.
Exactly. And that's not realistic. And I don't, as a performer, I don't recommend you fuck that way at home. I mean, if I have sex with somebody at my house, I am not doing acrobatic shit. I am not going to take, a 12-inch dick down my throat just for funsies. Because, I mean, it's not enjoyable. I'm not going to open, because, I mean, you got to remember in porn, you're opening up a camera. You have to make sure you can let the light in. You can make sure you can see the access point. You want to make sure you can see the penetration. Like, all of that is important, and you don't have to worry about that at home.
You wear a butt plug if you're going to have anal penetration. You warm up your asshole. You don't just stick something in. People don't understand that. They're like, but I saw this in porn. I thought that a cock would just go in my ass. I'm like,
no, honey.
Oh,
so,
honey.
okay.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect, I'm doing a DP tomorrow, which is another reason I'm here. So I don't really eat past a certain point today. Like past 3 p.m., I cut it off. Tonight I have to go and I have to like fully clean everything out.
Oh my God, it's almost 3 p.m. Shit. Do we need to feed you some food?
Oh no, I'll cut it back to like 4 or 5.
Okay,
but
okay,
like,
good.
And then I take Imodium and everything, but like I clean out and then I have to do it again in the morning. And then I take my time in the tub. I use a dilator kit. I stretch everything. Like it takes time. It's not just you should be able to take a dick the size of your forearm and
shove it on it.
People do not understand that part of and being in the sex toy industry. And also now with the podcast, we still get folks that they think they're broken because they've seen this in porn and they can't come this way, or my asshole doesn't work that way, or my vulva doesn't look that way. And it's like, that's okay. That's why it's beautiful. You can see that and some things that are happening. And you can also incorporate other things that work for your body. It doesn't have to be this way. No. And I love that you just explained as well how much fucking work it is. Because it's athleticism. It's being an athlete when you're doing
let me tell you some of the shit I have to do. I mean, they throw you in a pile driver and I mean, you're all the way down. Your head is bent at an angle like this. And suddenly you're getting drilled from the top, or you have to go into a reverse cowgirl for 5 minutes and you're like, I'm tired. And God forbid it's VR. You have to be this close to the camera at all times.
You could do reverse cowgirl and I'm athletic for fucking 30 seconds. I'm like, this hurts.
I did reverse cowgirl anal for 15 minutes in an office chair on wheels, balancing on guys' legs.
Holy shit. This is what I'm talking about. It's acrobatic. And this is why your panties cost $50+ and mine $0. I'm not willing to do that with my body. I can't actually. I'm not physically capable. I am not capable.
It's a lot of work. Like, I mean, if I didn't do it regularly, I don't think I could. And I mean, even I walk away from certain days and I am sore. I'm sore from last week. I did an anal scene and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you are doing this work because you also, I feel like you've talked about, I love what I do. And it's work. And sometimes you get to fuck for a living, which is cool.
I kind of get the best work ever. I mean,
yeah. So you're like, playing and connecting, but you also get to work out at the same time. But as long as it's all enjoyable and consensual, and I'm sure that, I guess my question would be, are there any times when you're like about to have sex with someone, you're like, I really don't want to fuck this person? Yes.
Of course.
That's a big question, right? Like, we're not talking like, they're really ugly, but like they could be like complete fucking assholes.
Oh yeah. Or there's
men
just
or
like
women,
no chemistry or something like that. And you're like, okay. And sometimes you're going through like a laundry list of things in your head and you're like, okay, when I leave here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I got to do this.
Yeah.
And then,
or like you're going through your own personal shit and you're like,
and you're in your own head. And some days in those days, I'm very thankful I'm a female in this industry because I can just slap some lube or some spit on it and I'm ready to go.
What about period sex though? Do you have to plan filming around period, or can you wear the cup or something?
So it just depends on who you are as a person. Okay. So I have some friends that if it's their period, they take the entire week off. They take their time, which is fine. I am one of those. I've used makeup sponges.
What is okay?
Oh yeah,
this one.
I love this.
This is my jam, but it gets scary sometimes.
Natasha, do you sell these makeup sponges that she uses?
Well, now we're going.
Yeah, now you're going to.
Anything the fans want, I always try to deliver.
Yes.
So it's essentially doing the tampon thing where you don't have the string, but it's a lot softer for a guy's dick, going in versus instead of ramming into that tampon, now you've got this soft, squishy material.
So you stick a few up there and they actually absorb them.
Yeah, they absorb
the
really
blood.
well because,
Okay.
if you've ever gotten one wet, you see how much they expand.
Yeah.
So they hold really well. I usually stick 1 or 2 in there. And then you just afterwards.
It's like reminds me of when you're bowling the bumpers.
Yeah, kind of. That's kind of what it's like. The guys know they're there.
but softer.
I thought the bowling bumpers were metal.
They are, but they're
not soft and squishy.
super
Oh no,
soft
some of them are
ones.
squishy.
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen some blow up ones that go in there.
Okay, so I don't ever use the bumpers, people. Sorry, I'm not a pro bowler.
Sorry, you just see me bowling or on roller skates. Okay, like I'm. Anyways, when we go down that route, okay. So Natasha's gonna start selling those. Hey, have you ever heard of that? They worked with us once, but Flex Company who does, and so instead of there's menstrual cups which like get way in the way. Which I'm a big menstrual cup person, but like to fuck with a menstrual cup, there's a big thing coming out. But they make this disc now, which I haven't tried yet.
It's a reusable disc that's sort of like,
I've seen the disc.
And
yeah.
it's like a diaphragm almost
like a diaphragm, and like, but so it's almost flat, and then you can put it on the cervix, and it's soft and squishy and silicone. But what if you sold that after?
I would sell whatever I can that the girls are down for.
All
that's,
right.
goes through the mail. That's fine.
Yeah, let's do that.
So let me ask, what is the most interesting / unexpected thing that people, maybe not everyone, but a lot of folks buy that are maybe I wouldn't be thinking off the top of my head that a performer would sell.
So
the
something
pee
that's
and
not,
the
let's
poop
say
was
not,
interesting.
let's say like child friendly perhaps, which sounds terrible because it's an adult company.
Like PG-13.
Yeah, PG-13. So Siri Doll is a cosplayer, and so she has fans that are into outfits that she dress up in. So we just had her autograph a Pop Funko doll of a character that from years ago that she would dress up as at Comic-Con and stuff. And so the guy went on a hunt to go find this doll, and then he started, I think he's like setting up an altar at home, it sounds like, because he's got like the whole shrine of her. And so that's probably like the most interesting thing when it comes to like costumes, and they relate her to the toys or the anime characters and stuff that she does. So that would be like the most innocent thing.
Okay.
It's like buying a statue of a deity and putting it up on your. Sorry, I mean, but in some way, like you're probably like all praise the almighty goddess of some, But
Yeah.
but the other thing, and we just said this with Layla Martin when we were recording, like the goddess is like dirty and nasty or whatever. But like no, fucking praise the goddess and all of her
course.
juices and
Yeah.
glory.
Well, there's a lot of porn that they do the spoof kind of like pirates.
Oh,
remember the
yeah.
pirates porn.
Yeah. Okay, so
I
we're
watched
dating
that.
ourselves because that was
I've
like
done
2009.
I've done a few spoofs.
But there's also like Saving Ryan's Privates. Yes, what do you call them? How do you say it?
The spoofs?
The identity. Movies. I don't know. The spoofs on movies.
Parodies.
Spoofs on
Yeah,
movies.
parodies.
Thank
Parodies.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kenna, for coming.
are
out.
welcome.
My brain's not working. I would buy costumes like that. I watched the shit out of some of the gangster ones, the mafia ones. I was
So we have
that's
like
hot.
her regular costumes that she's done of stuff, because those people also, they look at her more than just sex as well, just like with Kenna, that these girls help them through issues in their life. So when he
We're
had that
therapists.
doll, he wrote a letter to her saying how he lost all this weight and got healthy, because Siri also is a competitive. She does like workouts and she does like weightlifting competitively. So that too is like that doll and stuff also relates in other ways than just like, him jacking off to her type of thing.
Well, this is the thing. Why shameless sex exists, we are always interested in all the avenues of what helps folks out there. And as long as it's consensual, we're like, let's bring it. And
Wait.
we're not going to yuck people's yums.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can April sell her panties on your website?
I'm
What do you
so
think?
down. I think we should put like a few things and see. I mean, because come on, you're on here. You have
Absolutely.
fans.
I
That's
don't
all it
have-
takes.
She actually, but as I
wear
said,
underwear.
the joke is that she doesn't really wear a lot of underwear.
But we could take clothes too. The key of the
that's the
website
hard
is
part.
having
Yeah.
loyal
I
fans.
don't ever wear underwear.
So yeah, so I have pretty much forced Kenna to wear underwear.
And
but
she wouldn't sell
Yeah.
her shoes because she loves her shoes. So what can we sell of yours? A scrunchie?
a top, some jeans, a scrunchie,
No,
your
I think
socks.
Amy should sell her, so she's
the
juicier
sandals.
anyway.
I'm juicy and wear a lot of undies.
Yeah, there you go. See? I think we'll start with you. We'll go from there.
I'm also quite shameless.
You've also had a stalker and stuff. I'm scarier for dudes. I like it.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm fucking tough.
I know. And I'd be like, right, yeah,
I
no,
will
so-
fuck you up in your sleep.
So if
Honestly,
you,
I still hold
But I'm
that
also very
motif.
sexy. Yeah.
well, if you want a pair of my
I'm hot,
panties,
but I will fuck you up.
Don't fuck with me.
If you want a pair of my panties, you got to email Shameless Sex and let us know, and then we'll put it on Fans Utopia. But what should the starting price be? Like a higher starting price?
We do about $100 starting, depending if they're period, cum filled, piston, how many hours they're worn in. There's some girls that wear them. We have a girl on there, the Danielle Spirit, who does mostly just OnlyFans, and she wears them sometimes for like 3 days or more, and checks it off of how long she's worn it
So
for.
I can do all those except for the 3 days
Yeah,
or more.
yeah.
See, I
That's
could do
the
the 3
thing.
days or more because I don't mind.
I could
was
do the
wearing
3
a
days
pair
or
of
more. I
pants
do them
yesterday.
occasionally.
Yeah, I love not washing my clothes because if they smell, I wash them. But I like to maintain the longevity of my attire.
I do. So with jeans, I don't wash my jeans. I only get them
neither.
dry cleaned
But do you
once
wear
or twice a
underwear?
year. Yes,
So
but the
she
thing
doesn't
is,
So I don't. It's all
I don't wear
underwear
either.
A pair of pants on
See,
yesterday. I was like, Amy, look at how creamy these
Yeah,
pants are. And
see?
she's like, oh my god. I was like, I haven't washed them. I've had them for 4 years. She's like, you're fucked up. I was like,
you have like a
well,
built-in
I
liner
literally
now in
did
your
not
jeans.
say she was fucked
times
up.
a month.
she didn't say I was fucked up, but it was her look. Okay.
No, I was just like, how the fuck does that happen?
Yeah, because
Oh.
with panties, it's hard to wear them that much if you're juicy, because then it feels like you're just like rubbing your shit against
No, we're talking
sandpaper.
panties or like thongs that are also touching the butthole.
Both.
Oh, yeah,
Well, of
boy
course,
shorts,
thongs
what
you
kinda-
always get. You
And
always
wait,
get a little
do we
shit
get-
on it.
Do we get
That's what I was saying. I was talking about a streaker.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was laughing.
Do we
but-
get more money for streakers?
Yeah, what about the streakers?
Of course, you just floss it in between the assholes. You get a nice long strip in there.
See, I think a bidet would solve all of that streaking.
I don't think so, because you would have to jam the toilet paper really up your ass to clean
bidet
it a
though.
lot
We
to
just
make
we
it.
were at our
No, but
friend's
we're
house.
saying that we get more money for
Yes,
the
yes.
so we want the streakers.
You
get more
money for
encourage it.
streaks.
Yeah.
She's like, you eat a lot of flax.
I love how Kenna's just like, no, we get more money for streaks. Come on.
More
knows
money
what's
for
up.
streaks.
The more streaks,
Yeah.
the better.
The dirtier, the,
The
better.
dirtier, the more depraved.
I mean,
the
even
better.
like me, whenever I would, I don't have a period anymore because I'm on birth control. But like when I did, I would be like, oh shit, the blood over, they're ruined. I mean, now it's like shit, throw them over to
Now
me.
it's
And
like,
guys are like,
oh,
how
great,
much
you
blood's
just throw them on the website
Yeah,
and
and they're like,
charge
oh, buy
double.
this shit. And
Also,
then, you know.
I want to comment and speak to the descriptions on the website because
Oh, they're great.
whoever curates those, and I'm assuming it would be, and I'm not looking at Kenna right now, I'm looking at Natasha because it's. I read a few, I think 3 or 4 of Kenna's product descriptions, and it's like, Kenna's coming, crawling close to you. On all fours, she wants you. And I'm doing the soft voice. It doesn't have a voice, but if you want me to do audible for that, I can. So do
that
you
was
come
really
up
good,
with that?
actually. That was really fucking
That
good.
was really good.
Dang.
So I love those, and they're all individualized.
That's what I wanted to be
And I love
unique.
that.
So I
Yes.
wanted the person to be able to, when they see an item, because a lot, like we were talking about in the past, so a lot of places people just throw shit on there. You need to be able to connect with the item. Let's say it's not something from Tennessee, but something she's worn all the time. You want to be able to connect that item. So I do these sexual descriptions talking about, kind of like the bra holding her breast. And,
Yeah.
Wait,
and
can I
all
have
that.
April read one in
Yeah.
her voice? So this is your words
So
about
here's
Kenna in
one.
April's voice.
The way they hug her feet and closes its grip tighter along her toes as she walks throughout the day. Her toe marks and sweet scent left behind. Worn by Kenna James. Will you have your craving of more? And every time you see them, you'll want more. Sealed as soon as it arrives at our office and just as fresh as it arrives to you.
What shoes are these?
How good is that?
I mean, I should just write, some sex novels in my free time.
seriously, and then she could
I
actually
think
be your
we should.
narrator.
I can audible that shit for
this.
you.
So-
Yes.
They should have
You
a
have-
live.
you have-
It's like
option so you can
ASMR.
slut.
I was like,
So yeah,
and then I'm gonna whisper
Kenna
in
the
your ear.
muse, you're the writer, and you are the narrator, and I'll just be over here
Conducting. You're the circus conductor. What is that person? Yes.
With a baton.
She's a baton thrower.
All right. Okay. So we would love to talk about this forever upon ever and ever and ever and ever ever. And I know. So we're talking about 2 separate entities here, and then also the collaboration of these entities. So we have fansutopia.com, created by woman-owned and operated with mostly vulva owners, but also we have, what was the guy's name again?
Tomas
Goldick.
Moving on to we get some DX on there. And we also have Kenna James, who has her own, I'm sure, probably OnlyFans-ish thing,
Of
although I heard
course.
there's some funky stuff happening with that. Maybe you can elaborate. But let's start with we start with you first. So let's start with Fans Utopia first this time, about how people can find you, work with you, buy Kenna James's products, maybe Amy Baldwin's products, maybe April Lambert's products. I don't know. Send us some emails and then
I got the streakers for you, y'all. Just wait.
She's like, and if, by the way, if you want her jeans that she never washes, that she's had for 5 years, they're gonna be
those are my favorite, and you can't get them
Those
anymore.
are gems. We got to put those online.
They're 10 grand.
Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
dude, I don't even know if I'd accept that, but
Really?
maybe I'll consider it.
No, she would buy 10 grand.
They
Okay.
got built-in panties in them, basically.
But it's
at this
going through
point.
fansutopia.com. So anyway, so
So how, for instance, the talent can find me. A lot of them will either reach out to me through social media on Twitter or Instagram. My original Instagram, of course, got kicked off because
Of
they
course.
couldn't handle bikini photos of Kenna on there.
Oh, God.
So
Instagram hates me.
that was a lot. So I'm on my second one now, which is Fans Utopia 1, and our Twitter is Fans Utopia 1. And so they'll either do that or they'll email me directly at fansutopia@gmail.com. I also try to go to as many of the adult shows and stuff to reach out. Also, the girls and the guys, when they recommend friends from theirs, they also get 5% of lifetime sales. So it's like never ending of just kind of everyone always wants to help their friends out. And also, too, a lot of these performers, they have so much stuff sitting at home and they want to get rid of it. So the second they hear about it, like word spreads through all of that.
What about folks that want to purchase the
Oh,
things?
yes. So what I've been doing right now is I do all the marketing myself, and then also the talent, for instance, Kenna will repost. So a lot of times they'll see it on the social media channels. We put it on Reddit. At the adult shows, I'll have the flyers for the girls. So that's mostly how they connect us, from the social media channels, or they'll put the links on their link tree or their social media. So that's how everyone finds Kenna's stuff. And so, especially when it comes from her mouth, basically on there, that's how the fans truly find her, is from her, more than just me posting online.
or from Shameless Sex.
And
Exactly.
fansutopia.com. Just go check out, just as I did, to read that amazing description about Kenna's shoes, which those are hot. And what about, so Kenna, and for folks that want to see your work, because you have some really great stuff out there, and have more of Kenna in their life, can you tell folks where you be?
So I be all over the internet, starting OnlyFans, Kenna James X, Twitter at Kenna James 21, Instagram at Real Kenna James, and if you really want to find more than that, just Google Kenna James. There's also a poker player. That is not me. He is a good friend. But yeah.
So
Two
is
ends
their
in
name-
Kenna, too.
Their
Two
name
ends.
is Kenna James too. So
Yes.
Oh, that's why it's
his name
confusing.
is Kenna James. We actually became friends.
Oh.
After we met on Facebook.
Oh, did you? Oh, nice. All right. I won't go
You
down
like, want to
that.
see my poker
yeah.
face, bitch? I'll show you.
We'll have all the links in the show notes too, for everyone, so that you don't have to remember all these things, but go check these things out because, well, I know that you're very curious. Oh, and also this one does not have a YouTube video, but for our Instagram, we are filming some little clips here and there. So if you're not following Shameless Sex Podcast on Instagram, there should be clips there on our Instagram. So go follow now, because you
Go
definitely want to
follow
see
them.
these ladies.
I
And I did
also-
get a close up of Kenna James in these jean shorts, by the way. Just so you know.
I should hope so.
You can verify she's wearing them. Perfect.
Yeah, I can verify that she's wearing
there.
them. And-
Those are
and the
nice.
starting bid is 500, and it's definitely going up from there. So just saying.
Yeah, it's going to go up by the day, guys.
It
just so
will.
you
It
know.
will. Because it's hot as fuck where we are. So I want to do one last shout out to each and every one of you that are listening and that love Shameless Sex. Thank you for being a part of the Shameless Sex revolution, for being a badass boss yourself. Just go right now. Give us 5 stars on iTunes. We read every single review. Why? Because we want to know more. And I cry when you give us 1. I'm not kidding. Amy has to fucking coach me through it. I lose sleep over it. So give us 5.
Like, you got
and if you really
this.
hate us, then just send Amy an email and tell her, don't tell me, because I do get sad. And it helps more people find fucking amazing services, humans, just like Natasha's work, Kenna's work. And we want to make sure everybody has access to all the beautiful things that exist on planet Earth. Mars coming to you soon. All right, y'all. We're going to see you next Tuesday. Ciao for now.
Want to learn more? Go to shamelesssex.com, and for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code shamelesssex at purepleasureshop.com.